After finishing his farm work, Jack returned home, only to casually twist the doorknob and rip the entire lock right out. Yet Jack was certain he hadn't used any force. He guessed it might be because of years of farming, since earlier that morning, Jack had finally mastered every agricultural skill, although each one was just an ordinary skill related to farming or planting. Once all those skills were combined, Jack's stat panel underwent a shocking change. His attack power skyrocketed from 70, all the way up to 70,000. However, Jack had no real sense of what that number meant. The next day, as Jack was preparing to head into town to sell his goods, he suddenly spotted a giant dragon in the sky, fighting against 3 warriors on the ground. As an ordinary farmer, there was little Jack could do to help, but he still decided to give it a try. So Jack threw a carrot at the dragon, hoping to distract it. But the moment he let go, the carrot unexpectedly transformed into a missile. The dragon didn't even have time to react before it was blown apart. The sight left the warriors below completely stunned, unable to comprehend how someone could defeat an S-rank dragon in a single blow. At the same time, Jack himself was equally shocked, and even assumed the dragon must have been fake. Having never seen much of the world, Jack couldn't figure out why, so he continued on toward the royal capital. When the 3 warriors finally arrived at the scene, all they found were the tracks left by a departing carriage. Meanwhile, Jack had already reached the royal capital, only for trouble to come one after another. He saw a girl being kidnapped by thugs. Acting on instinct, Jack rushed forward to help. To his surprise, with just a light leap, he rescued the girl from danger. Enraged, the thug turned around and threatened Jack, then without any warning, pulled out a knife and lunged at him. In the very next moment, Jack effortlessly dodged the attack. He followed up with a swift shoulder throw, slamming the thug to the ground. The guards soon arrived and arrested the criminal. To outsiders, it looked like Jack had easily subdued the thug, but inside, Jack was panicking. It was only then that he realized he actually possessed a perception skill. The girl nearby thanked Jack for saving her, but before she could ask his name, Jack had already run off. In truth, Jack was in a hurry to sell vegetables at the market, because if he was late, he'd miss the delivery time. Thinking about how he still needed to water the fields later, Jack immediately prepared to head home. Strangely enough, however, the city gate guard stopped him. Just as Jack was feeling confused, the girl from earlier stepped forward again, explaining that she was the princess of the royal capital, and wanted to invite Jack to serve the royal family. Faced with the generous reward the princess offered, Jack rejected it without a second thought, because all he wanted now was to go home and farm. Hearing this, the princess immediately understood, and said that if Jack joined the palace, she was willing to grant him 10,000 square meters of farmland. At these words, Jack hesitated, but just then, 3 people approached the gate. The guard clearly knew them, and grew curious about the crystal in their hands. The 3 made no attempt to hide it, stating that it was treasure dropped by an S-rank dragon, though they were not the ones who had slain it. The only thing they knew was that a carriage had passed by at the time. All these details caused the princess to think of Jack, but by the time she realized the truth, Jack was already far away. The princess did not give up, and planned to chase after him herself. Unfortunately, at that moment she received bad news. A massive wave of monsters was approaching the royal capital.